Okay, this video has undoubtedly been made hundreds of times before. I don't care, I'm making it now because my opinions are correct. Pokemon have stats. Pokemon have moves. Pokemon have abilities. But some Pokemon have too many stats, too many strong moves, and too strong of abilities. Is that grammatically correct? I don't care. There are Pokemon that are too strong, and I just want to talk about that today. These Pokemon have warped metagames around them, causing even high-tier Pokemon to look like total jobbers. These are the types of Pokemon that, when you try to put a team together, come to your mind first. How am I going to deal with that thing? Do I run that thing? Do I have a good matchup? Do I just automatically lose to this Pokemon? The ones that feel like they're breaking the rules, even though they're totally legal. Today, we're going to discuss these Pokemon, explain why they're just way too strong, and suggest ways to nerf them as to not completely ruin their viability, but make them much more reasonable to play against. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video at any point in time, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. As a matter of fact, you should really just subscribe right now because I have a playlist full of content just like this that you can watch once this video ends. And if you think you're subscribed, do me a favor and double check because a lot of my viewers actually aren't. With that, let's get into the video. But not before I plug my YouTube channel memberships. If you click the join button, not only do you get access to bonus videos every week and access to my podcast with Jody Azzarelli, but you also can join my members only Discord where we team build and discuss Pokemon broadly. You also get a badge by your name in the comments and in my live streams, and you get to see your name at the end of these videos. Lots of cool perks there, so consider supporting me with the channel membership. Now back to the video. Okay, let's get the biggest offender out of the way. What even is Urshifu? What is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? No, what's a kung fu bear doing in Galar? He doesn't even go here. Urshifu legitimately feels like it breaks the basic rules of competitive Pokemon. You see, in VGC, the name of the game is damage mitigation. Abilities like Intimidate and moves like Reflect and Light Screen have remained relevant in the competitive scene due to their utility in reducing incoming damage, so you can squeeze out an extra turn from your Pokemon, allowing for them to get another attack off and swing the match in your favor. Protect is yet another form of damage mitigation, which is used to completely block all incoming moves, so you can try to wrestle for a better board position, whether that be getting a different partner Pokemon on the field or stalling out Tailwind or Trick Room. Urshifu just doesn't care about any of this. Both forms of Urshifu have the ability Unseen Fist. This ability causes all of Urshifu's contact moves to ignore Protect, meaning that if Urshifu is staring down your Pokemon, there's not a thing you can do to stop it from attacking, short of just redirecting the move or KOing Urshifu first. This is absurdly powerful because it means that it's far easier for Urshifu to pin a Pokemon in a position where it will get KO'd than any other Pokemon in the game. So what can you try to do to at least make sure that what damage it deals isn't as significant? Not much. Both forms of Urshifu have a signature move that always deals a critical hit. Critical hits in Pokemon not only deal 50% more damage, but ignore attack drops from the user, defense boost from the target, and any screen set on the field. It's the most consistent form of damage possible. Urshifu's Single Strike signature move is Wicked Blow, which is a 75 base power dark type attack, and Urshifu Rapid Strike signature move is Surging Strikes, which is a 25 base power water type attack that hits 3 times. Since these moves always crit, that means that they're both effectively 112 base power attacks. Surging Strikes even bypasses Sturdy and Focus Sashes since it's a multi-hit move. Bear in mind that before Generation 9, Wicked Blow was actually an 80 base power move, meaning it'd be 120 power after the boost. So this Pokemon has actually already been nerfed, but the mechanics surrounding it are what caused the issues, and these mechanics have been ignored entirely. If Urshifu were to be nerfed in any significant way, it'd have to be by removing Unseen Fist from the game or adding ways to deal with the crits. I mean, we used to have a move that prevented crits outright called Lucky Chant, but it got removed from the game the same generation that these dudes were added. Go figure. Alternatively, adding some kind of item that prevented all critical hits like the ability Shell Armor would be invaluable. This would make it so Pokemon like Moltres, Togekiss, or hey, even Toxicroak could more reliably switch in on these Pokemon and be effective counters. But for now, we're stuck with 2 Pokemon that just don't follow the rules. Okay, I'm just now realizing that every Pokemon on this list is going to be from generations 8 and 9. Like, power creep really popped off in those gens, so minor spoilers, but don't expect to see, I don't know, Gigalith on this list. Okay, moving forward, Calyrex. Yeah. Which one? Well, both of them. Genuinely, what happened here? Calyrex starts off as a very, very weak grass psychic type legendary Pokemon, but when you use the Reins of Unity to fuse it with either Spectrier or Glastrier, you end up with one of the most broken Pokemon ever created. Calyrex Shadow Rider and Calyrex Ice Rider are way overtuned. Let's begin with Calyrex Shadow Rider. This Pokemon is a ghost psychic type with 150 base speed, 165 special attack, and impressive bulk all around. Typically, when a Pokemon is granted these levels of speed and offense, it comes at the expense because of its bulk, but this is simply not the case. Calyrex Shadow Rider has 100 HP, 80 defense, and 100 special defense. On a non-legendary Pokemon, that would be easily considered very impressive. Stats like these cause Calyrex Shadow Rider to be a very customizable Pokemon that can live particular attacks and revenge KO with its busted signature move Astral Barrage. Astral Barrage is a 120 base power ghost type move that hits both opponents. Its ability as one not only has Unnerve built in, preventing opponents from eating berries, but it has Grim Neigh, meaning each KO it scores will increase its special attack stat. When you combine this with its busted spread move, Calyrex Shadow Rider is easily able to sweep through entire teams and snowball its offenses as it goes. Calyrex Ice Rider, on the other hand, trades all of its speed to maximize its bulk and be an absurdly powerful physical attacker. Calyrex Ice Rider is an Ice Psychic type with 165 base attack, 100 HP, 150 defense, and 130 special defense. In any other context, a Pokemon with that kind of bulk would be stalling out opponents with Leech Seed, but this guy is just sweeping through entire teams with Glacial Lance. Glacial Lance is its signature move, which is currently a 120 base power physical ice move that hits both opponents. A move that happened to actually be 130 base power at some point for some reason, and like Calyrex Shadow Rider, it also has the ability as one, except its version of the ability causes it to snowball its physical attack stat. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest here, everything I just described would have probably given a heart attack to the average player back in Generation 4. So let's figure this out. How do we nerf these Pokemon? Well, first of all, these stats are just absurd, but we don't need to remove base stat total from the Pokemon. Let's just move 10 special attack from Calyrex Shadow Rider and add it to its physical attack stat, and vice versa for Calyrex Ice Rider. That's a solid start, but there's one more thing we need to do. You see, back in Generation 6, Groudon and Kyogre got access to their signature moves of Precipice Blades and Origin Pulse. These moves, as powerful as they are, have a major drawback of only being 85 accuracy, making it somewhat of a gamble to click it. I don't believe that we should change Glacial Lance and Astral Barrage to have the same chance to miss, since I hate having to run low accuracy moves, but I think it's pretty unfair that these moves are so high in power, hit both opponents, and have perfect accuracy. In my opinion, these moves should each be nerfed down to 110 base power. 120 is far too much, even for a spread move, as spread moves have their power cut on each individual Pokemon by 75% when hitting multiple targets. This means that Astral Barrage is equivalent to 2 individual 90 base power ghost moves, which is stronger than 2 individual Shadow Balls. That's a no-no. We can't have that. These Pokemon need a serious nerf in damage. I know for a fact they aren't going to remove as one from the game, so a further nerf could be that we change Calyrex's ability to something other than Unnerve, so the opposing Pokemon can actually eat berries when these guys are on the field. A damage-reducing berry or a citrus berry could seriously help them out. I'd suggest giving it Pressure like many of the other awful legendary Pokemon in the game. Look, Pressure plus Grim Neigh is a lot easier to deal with than Unnerve plus Grim Neigh. Just work with me here, Game Freak. Alright, we all saw this one coming. Flutter Mane is a bit much, isn't it? I mean, I have a whole video talking about just this Pokemon, but I think that it can't really be overstated how broken this Pokemon is. Let me explain. Ghost Fairy type is already one of the best offensive typings in the game. It simply just hits most everything for neutral or super effective damage, but the issue with Flutter Mane isn't its typing, it's the typing combined with its extremely min-max stats. Flutter Mane has the very easy to remember stat spread of 55, 55, 55, 135, 135, 135. On the physical side of things, completely non-existent bulk. On the special attack and speed side, we might have a doping situation. While Flutter Mane may seem to be extremely physically frail, it's actually deceptively bulky. Not bulky in the way that it's going to be 3-hit KO'd by most attacks or something, but bulky in the way that it's definitely going to survive at least one attack if it needs to. And this can be done without a Focus Sash. You see, when Flutter Mane's good stats are so far above the average Pokemon stats, it means that it doesn't really have to invest much into speed or special attack to outspeed and one-shot most Pokemon. This leaves a ton of EVs available to be invested into its physical bulk, allowing for it to live things like Surging Strikes from Urshifu, Ice Spinner from Chenpao, and a variety of other super powerful physical attacks. The reason you would forego the Focus Sash for bulk is because equipping a Choice Specs or Booster Energy to boost its special attack stat allows for Flutter Mane to pick up even more KOs while still getting 2-hit KO'd by the same Pokemon. And all this is on top of it having access to Photosynthesis, one of the greatest abilities in Pokemon today. Photosynthesis boosts the highest stat of the user as long as the sun is active on the field. In Flutter Mane's case, it can either boost its special attack by 30% or its speed by 50%. Meaning it just gets a free Life Orb or Choice Scarf with none of the drawbacks. It's way too strong, way too splashable, and its results just back that up. So what do we do about this demon? Easy. Lower the speed, man. Why is it 135? And why can it get faster? Make it so Flutter Mane can't outspeed Pokemon like Chenpao without the speed booster. Make it so it's really gotta invest in that speed stat to get what it needs, and so it can't invest as much into its defenses. Make it the glass cannon it was designed to be. Come on, Flutter Man something. Flutterman. Yeah. Okay, this one might seem really petty and dumb, but this might actually be the Pokemon I need nerfed on the video the most, so I'll make it quick. What even is Annihilate? Why did they make a ghost fighting type, perfect coverage by the way, with great bulk, HP high enough to eat most hits, a move that increases in power every time it gets hit, and a speed stat that lets it use Final Gambit so easily? Final Gambit deals damage equivalent to your remaining HP, by the way. Most Pokemon don't have base 110 HP, you know. It can just one-shot most legendaries. Stop it. Just stop it. Lower this dude's HP, make Rage Fist cap at 200 base power. Make it reset on switch out too. Why can Rage Fist reach 350 base power? It's dumb. Stop it. Okay, Miraidon. What is there to say about this Pokemon that hasn't already been said? Miraidon is an electric dragon type Pokemon with 135 base special attack and 135 base speed. Where have I seen this before? Well, that's not all it's got. Miraidon also has the ability Hadron Engine. This ability causes Miraidon to set up electric terrain when it's on the field, while also boosting its special attack by 1.33 times as long as terrain is active. And as an electric type, it already has a 50% natural increase in power to its electric moves. So let's do the math here. Electro Drift for Miraidon is boosted by 1.5 times and 1.3 times, then Miraidon has the bonus 1.33 times multiplier on its special attack stat. While we're here, let's assume choice specs for 1.5 times extra, as that's the standard item right now. When we do the math, we see that everything drops. Look, I don't know why Game Freak thought this was a good idea. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to make a Pokemon that can one-shot things with a pivoting move like Volt Switch while still being super bulky. Like the last Mon that could do that was probably like Mega Beedrill, and this dude drops to a quick attack. I'm honestly not even sure how it would nerf this Pokemon other than allocating some of its special attack stat into its physical attack stat and maybe lower that to like 125. But that's such a basic suggestion that it feels kind of lazy. So let's get even lazier. Suggest to me in the comments how you would nerf Miraidon, as well as any other Pokemon you think needs a nerf. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It means the world to me. If you want to support me further, you can check out my Patreon page or become a YouTube channel member by clicking the join button below the video. This gets you sneak peeks at future videos, bonus content, and access to my supporter-only Discord, where you can hang out and team build with other community members. You also see your name at the end of my videos like all these people. Special thanks to my most boosted supporters, Avatar67 and Lilith Lilligant, for their generous pledges. Another way to support me is to check out all the videos in the playlist on screen right now. I know you'll find something in there that you'll enjoy. I also have a second channel where I just ladder in game if you want to check that out, and a Twitch channel where I stream, both of which are in the description. Or you can just tune into my YouTube streams Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. CST. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.